Hey, good morning, students. Now, in today's video, we are going to learn about thermal conductivity of gases, and this is a very familiar topic which we have already studied in some earlier standards. And before proceeding to this thermal conductivity of gases, let's have a quick recap on the last video lecture. And I think in the last video lecture, we have obtained the relation for viscosity, and this coefficient of viscosity eta is equal to 1/3 of rho c lambda. And then we have discussed the dependence of coefficient of viscosity on pressure and temperature, and we have solved some problems based on the same topic. Now, to understand this thermal conductivity of a gases, let us consider three different layers, and these three different layers are A, B and C. The layer A is the middle one, and the layer B is the upper layer, and layer C is the lower layer, right? So all the layers are similar like earlier one, isn't it? And theta is the temperature, right? Lambda is the distance between two layers, and it is also a mean free path. And then d theta by dz will be a temperature gradient, change in temperature with respect to the layers, right? Distance between the layer. Now let's go ahead, and we know that temperature and therefore the thermal energy varies from layer to layer of a gas, and there is a transfer of energy from one layer to another layer. The thermal conductivity of a gas can also explain on the basis of kinetic theory of gases, just like a eta, right? The coefficient of thermal conductivity of any material is defined at the quantity of gas, the quantity of heat energy conducted in the steady state through unit area per unit time per unit temperature gradient. And if d theta by dz is the temperature gradient along with the material, then the quantity of heat conducted, let us say quantity of heat conducted is capital Q, and then the quantity of heat conducted through the unit area per unit second can be given by Q is equals to K into d theta by dz. So let us say this equation as a equation number 1. Now let us consider three layers of the gas which we have seen already in the diagram. Sorry. The three layers are A, B and C, and all these three layers are parallel to the XOY plane, right? They are separated by distance lambda. Let theta be the temperature of the gas in the layer A. If d theta by dz is the temperature gradient along the z axis, then temperature of the gas in layer B will be how much? Because B is the uppermost layer, so the temperature of the uppermost layer B will be equals to theta plus lambda into d theta by dz, right? And that of a gas in layer C will be theta minus lambda into d theta by dz down layer. Therefore, the total energy transported by the molecules moving downwards from layer B and crossing the layer A per unit area per unit time will be equals to m suffix n mnc by 6 into Cv into theta plus lambda into d theta by dz. What is this Cv? Cv is the specific heat of a gas at constant volume, and rest of the quantities are known to you. This derivation is quite similar to earlier one for the coefficient of viscosity, so you can easily understand this. Similarly, the total heat energy transported by the molecule moving in a upward direction from layer C and crossing the layer A per unit area per unit time will be equals to mnc by 6 into Cv into theta minus lambda into d theta by dz, right? And therefore we can say the net heat energy transported, capital Q, per unit area per unit time in the downward direction will be equals to Q is equals to mnc by 6 into Cv into theta plus lambda d theta by dz minus theta plus lambda d theta by dz, right? So we have just taken the subtraction of the two layer heat transported, right? So Q is equal to, if you simplify this, then we will get this mnc by 3 into Cv into lambda d theta by dz. You can easily understand this, right? This theta gets cancelled. This will give you 2 times the term, and because of 2 times the term, this becomes 1/3, and we'll get the rest of the quantity as it is. So Q is equals to, what I can write for this, mnc 1/3 of mnc into lambda, I can write as a 1/3 of rho c lambda, right, into Cv into d theta by dz. And let us say this is our next equation number 2, right? And if you compare equation 1 and 2, then we can easily write k into d theta by dz is equals to 1/3 of rho c lambda into Cv into d theta by dz. And therefore we can write the relation for thermal conductivity. K is equals to this d theta by dz will get cancelled, and we'll get k is equals to 1/3 of rho c lambda into Cv. But we know that this bracket quantity 1/3 of rho c lambda is equals to eta, right, which we have already derived in the last lecture. So this helps us to make the above relation more simplified in terms of eta, and hence we can ultimately write K is equal to eta into Cv. So thermal conductivity is equals to eta times the specific heat of a gas at constant volume, right? So this is what the derivation that we have obtained for thermal conductivity in terms of viscosity, isn't it? As the variation in specific heat at constant volume with changes in pressure and temperature is very small, the variation of thermal conductivity with pressure and temperature is similar to variation to eta with these physical quantities. Therefore, K is independent of a pressure, but it is directly proportional to the square root of absolute temperature, right? And hope you have understood this derivation. So for the next derivation we'll need some more time, so we'll see the coefficient of diffusion in the next lecture. Thank you.